Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yamartya Lila Pakikam Swayogam Mayam Baladasa Yata Grihitam Vishmam Panam Swasya Cha Bhagarde Padam Padam Bhushana Bhushanangam. Okay. Translation. The Lord appeared in the mortal world by his internal potency, Yogamaya. He came in his eternal form, which is just suitable for his pastimes. These pastimes were wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself in the form as the Lord of Vaikuntha. Thus, his, Sri Krishna's transcendental body, is the ornament of all ornaments. Purport. In conformity with the Vedic hymns, Nityam Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam, the personality of God is more excellent than all living beings within the universe in the material world. He is the chief of all living entities, and no one can surpass or be equal to him in wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. When the Lord was within the universe, he seemed to be a human being because he appeared in a manner just suitable for his pastimes in the mortal world. He did not appear in human society in his Vaikuntha feature with 4 hands, because that would not have been suitable for his pastimes. But in spite of his appearing as a human being, no one was or is equal to him in any respect in any of the 6 different opulences. Everyone is more or less proud of his opulence in this world, but when Lord Krishna was in human society, he excelled in all his contemporaries within the universe. When the Lord's pastimes are visible to the human eye, they are called prakrita, and when they are not visible, they are called aprakrita. In fact, the Lord's pastimes never stop, just as the sun never leaves the sky. The sun is always in the right orbit in the sky, but it is sometimes visible and sometimes invisible to our limited vision. Similarly, the pastimes of the Lord are always current in one universe or another. And when Lord Krishna disappeared from the transcendental abode of Dwarka, it was simply a disappearance from the eyes of the people there. It should not be misunderstood that his transcendental body, which is just suitable for his pastimes in this mortal world, is in any way inferior to his different expansions in the Vaikuntha locus. His body manifested in the material world is transcendental par excellence in the sense that his pastimes in the mortal world excel his mercy displayed in the Vaikuntha locus. In the Vaikuntha locus, the Lord is merciful toward the liberated and Nitya Mukta living entities. But in his pastimes in the mortal world, he is more merciful even to the fallen souls who are Nityabhata or conditioned forever. The 6 excellent opulences which he had displayed in the mortal world by the agency of his internal potency, Yogamaya, are rare even in the Vaikuntha locus. All his pastimes were manifested by the material energy, but by his spiritual, were not manifested by his material energy, but by his spiritual energy. The excellence of his Rasa Lila at Vrindavan and his whole householder life with 16,000 wives is wonderful even for Narayan and Vaikuntha, and is certainly so for other living entities within the mortal world. His pastimes are wonderful even for other incarnations of the Lord, such as Sri Ram, Nrsimha, and Varaha. His opulence was so super excellent that his pastimes were adored, even by the Lord of Vaikuntha, who was not different from the Lord himself. Umagyan to Timirandasya Gyanajana Salakaya. Chaktu and Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale Shrimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desharine Vancha Kalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Pevachastitaram Bhavarebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in the Nectar of Instructions, actually, it's one of the main verses in the Nectar of Instructions, towards the end, where Krishna's pastimes in Mathura are even superior to his pastimes in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. Higher than Mathura are the 12 forests of Vrindavan, and higher than the 12 forests of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill. And higher than Govardhan Hill, or the topmost, is Radhakund, where the Lord also performs his pastimes in the most intimate way with his internal energy, Srimati Radharani. So these manifestations of these different categories of places are all in the material world for the benefit, not only, as it says here, for the liberated souls, but for the conditioned souls as well. Even if they don't understand, even if they don't recognize the Lord, if they happen to see and are not negative in seeing, then they gain some spiritual substance. In other words, they make advancement. They get purified to some degree. So his pastimes in this world, which are called prakat, are more important in terms of his activities, because the spiritual world everything is working perfectly. But in order to, what we say, bring about an upliftment of the conditioned souls in this material world, he comes. Yada yada hi dharmasya, he comes for different reasons, but the essence of all of his coming is to uplift the conditioned souls and to inspire those who are engaged in his devotional service in their service to him. Therefore, even though he mentions other reasons for coming, they can also be accomplished simply by his energies. He doesn't have to personally come. But he's so kind to the conditioned souls that he comes to the material world. So out of all of the qualities that the Lord manifests, his compassion and his kindness to the conditioned soul is his ornament. He shows that in different ways by making sacrifices for the conditioned soul so they can somehow or other recognize him or at least engage in service to him. And he knows. So in other words, the Lord never does anything for his own benefit. Of course, he is transcendently happy always. So whatever pastimes he performs, they are also for his own transcendental pleasure. But he never does it simply for his pleasure. He always brings the conditioned souls in these pastimes so they can also benefit. So when we hear about these pastimes, or even read about them, and if we're fortunate, just like it was a wonderful pastime that happened just recently here in Mayapur Dham. One young man he was leaving Belpukur, and he got on his bike on Bengali, but the bike wouldn't move. He felt like there was something in front of the bike that was stopping him. He could see something, but he couldn't make it out. Finally, he was able to go. And then he went to his place here in Mayapur and went to sleep. He was with a friend who happened to be awake when he was sleeping. And while he was sleeping, he started to chant verses in his sleep. A person who was with him started to record it. And they were all in line with some prophecy that was about to manifest. When he woke up, he wasn't even aware of what he had done, but they played the recording back. And it described in there that there is a place that there is a deities are waiting for him to be on earth. But it wasn't so clear in the dream or in the verses that he made. So he did some research along with his friends. They discovered 3 places, and one of the places was near the place of Kolovetscher Sridhar. So he's looking around and then walking, and he goes into the woods looking, and he falls. And he said, my feet got so heavy that I couldn't walk anymore, and I tried to walk and I fell. And when he fell, he landed on some brush. And when he cleared away the brush, there was a box underneath the brush, and in the box there were 2 deities. One was Protomaya, which is the controller of the Dham. She is Yoga Maya also. She is called Protomaya in Mayapur. And one was a small little Gopal deity that was somewhat covered by time. In other words, his paint was somewhat destroyed. He took the 2 deities out, and later on, of course, it was understood that the prophecy was that when Protomaya appears in the dream, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur had made a prophecy that in the future, Protomaya will actually come in a personal form in Sridham Mayapur, and then Mayapur will attain its full glory. So that happened about a month ago here in Mayapur. And the Protomaya deity, they're going to build a temple for that deity here. And the Gopal deity, which was found by this devotee who was a disciple of Shiva Ram Maharaj, who heard about it, he wanted that Gopal deity. So the Gopal deity, I think, is on his way or has reached the care of Shiva Ram Maharaj. So that was interesting. That was just, did you hear about that? Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah. So the Lord's pastimes are going on. Sometimes they're obvious, and sometimes they're not so obvious. One time, Srila Prabhupada was with one gentleman, a respectable gentleman. They were taking darshan in front of the deities in one temple. Prabhupada turned to the man and he said, if you could see, you will be able to understand that the Lord is having his pastimes right there on the altar. And Prabhupada had transcendental vision, so those who have transcendental vision, they can see. For us who don't have transcendental vision, we get transcendental knowledge, which will help us develop transcendental vision, so we can understand more about the Lord as he manifests himself in different places throughout the world. But the main thing is that when he manifests himself, he always has a reason for it. And the reason is to uplift the conditioned souls to a better state of Krishna consciousness. In other words, to push the devotees further on the path of the Krishna consciousness. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has manifested himself not so long ago in this area of Sridham Mayapur. And what did he do? He brought the whole process of self-realization with him in the form of his own practice, and at the same time giving that knowledge to his followers, the 6 Goswamis, who wrote it in forms of books. And those books were distributed and later understood by the acharyas as being the foundation for the practice of Krishna consciousness in this age of Kali. Especially Srila Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, And of course, Srila Jiva Goswami, who's the most prolific of all the Vaishnava authors. He's written over 400,000 verses, and no one can defeat his arguments because he attacks many of the uh, ideas that come in as being the standard of what is actual spirituality, and he shows how they are not, and he establishes. All this is done in his Sandarbhas. Jiva Goswami, if you want to know actually the foundation of all spiritual practice and the conclusion also, then read the Sandarbhas, Tattva Sandarbha, Priti Sandarbha, Paramat Sandarbha, Krama Sandarbha, Bhakti Sandarbha, Krishna Sandarbha, and there's another Sandarbha.
Jiva?
Huh?
Jiva Sandarbha. Jiva?
Jiva? No, there's no Jiva Sandarbha. It's Tattva, Paramatma, Bhakti. These are the beginning ones. Yeah, Rama Sandarbha. There's 6 Sandarbhas along with the Tattva Sandarbha. So yeah, we have a dearth, an unlimited amount of information about the pastimes of the Lord and the philosophy of the practice of pure devotional service. And all of this has been manifested by the Lord either directly with his appearance in this world or indirectly through his empowered representatives, the spiritual teachers. Srila Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada even told us, he was asked to come to this world to do this work of bringing the eternal religious principles which had been locked in the area of India for thousands of years and now spread it throughout the entire globe. And he did in 11 short years, traveling around the world in 14 times and writing so many books and explaining that the essence of all spiritual practice in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam and many of the writings of the Goswamis. So this is the Lord's mercy as it manifests in this material world. So it's up to us to take advantage of that. And take advantage of it means to read it, to understand it, and to practice it also. And that practice also comes by hearing from the spiritual teachers on how to apply this knowledge in day-to-day activities of devotional service. But here also it talks about the transcendental body of the Lord, how it is not part of this material world. And he manifests the body accordingly. As it says here, he didn't come in his forearms because he would have not been able to teach. People would just be falling at his feet. And he wouldn't be able, he understood what the best way to teach is to come in his transcendental form as 2 arms, which is that form of Krishna in Sri Vrindavan. But Krishna did things that he usually doesn't do when he's in the spiritual world, and that is killing demons, because demon killing is for Vishnu or Narayan. Krishna doesn't kill demons. But when Krishna came to the material world, he came in 2 places at the same time. He appeared in Vrindavan and he appeared in the jail cell of Kamsa and Mathura. In the jail of Kamsa and Mathura, he was a four-armed form. He was actually Vaikuntha Krishna, who was the four-armed manifestation of the Lord. And that same manifestation was taken by Vasudeva and brought to Vrindavan. And both of those manifestations of the Lord merged into one, and therefore in the body of Krishna, Vaikuntha Krishna was also there along with Vrindavan Krishna. And therefore when Kamsa was sending all his demons, it wasn't Vaikuntha, it was Vaikuntha Krishna who was killing the demons, and not Vrindavan. Krishna doesn't kill demons because in the spiritual world there's no demons. Nobody can get in. unless they're actually, you know, pure spiritual souls who have reached the state of self-realization. So all of this is Krishna's mercy. This whole chapter will start to expand into more and more verses all about Krishna. This whole chapter is about Krishna and his leelas, like this. Here it says the Rasa Leela in Vrindavan. We sing the Damodar Astakam song every year during the month of Damodar. And at the end of the song, the very last line indicates the Rasa Leela as being the highest of all of the activities of Krishna. As he manifests in this material world, he performs this Rasa Leela in two very major times during the year, during the Sarat season and during the, what is the other season? It's coming up. Vasanta, yeah. The spring season and the fall season, like that. But if you read further into Krishna's leelas, he's performing this Rasa Leela throughout his pastimes with his gopis in the spiritual worlds. But he manifests it here twice, just for the benefit of the conditioned souls. But no one can understand these pastimes unless they're on the highest level of pure devotional service. They look like something ordinary, but they're much more than ordinary because they are free from anything material. There's no tinge of any material energy in his pastimes. They're pure spiritual essence, where everyone is acting for the pleasure of each other. And there's not a slight bit of personal interest in any of the pastimes of Krishna. Krishna acts for the pleasure of his devotees, and the devotees act for the pleasure of Krishna. No one is acting for their own pleasure, although it appears like that, because it looks similar to activities of the conditioned soul in this material world. So take time to read Krishna's pastimes. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti ritkarna rasayana kata. That this hearing of Krishna's pastimes is nectar. It gives substance, it gives life, it gives happiness, both to Rit and Karna. Rit means the heart, and Karna means the ear. So both are drenched with the happiness of transcendental sound vibration when we hear about Krishna's pastimes, especially his pastimes in Sri Vrindavan. And so one should take time and read and hear these pastimes because it's very important for our spiritual happiness and for our growth in spiritual life. Why? Because the more we learn about Krishna, the more you get attracted to Krishna. And that attraction, when it turns into actual attachment to Krishna, then it leads ultimately to the principle of affection and ultimately pure love. So that's how we develop our love for Krishna, by learning all about Krishna, hearing about Krishna. Is becoming eager. I remember when I first joined the Hare Krishna movement, Prabhupada was putting out the Bhagavatams occasionally. He would be doing his work, and then every a few months, a Bhagavatam would come. And the devotees were like, like bees chasing after the honey. And we were just jumping on these books and reading as fast as they were coming out. So it was like that. So, but now we have all of it practically, and there's still more coming out by his pure devotee followers. So we should take time, because if we don't, well, as Prabhupada writes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that if we don't read and hear these pastimes, we will return back to eating and sleeping, and will miss the opportunity for eternal life in the spiritual world. So he cautions us to take advantage of them, and this is what the Acharyas have given us, along with Srila Prabhupada, Krishna's Leelas. And They are the essence of the happiness that the devotees can experience when we hear about them and even discuss them amongst the devotees. One gets, it's like the nourishment. People get nourishment from many things, but the best form of nourishment is the nourishment of the soul. When the soul is nourished, then the whole body becomes illuminated with transcendental happiness. And then that happiness takes you to the level of attracting for Krishna more and more and more. Okay, so yeah, read the books. Don't be lazy. Don't be crazy. Don't just go outside and just pick daisy. Go on and read the books. No matter how it looks, read the books. Okay, we have to end with something transcendental. Okay, any questions, comments?
Thank you. Dear devotees, you can ask a question by raising your hands, or you can put it in the chat if you're not able to do so, and I will relay this on your behalf. A kind request as well, if you can turn on your cameras, make the session more interactive, personal, that would be appreciated.
Oh, let's go for the camera program now. Let's go. Let's see how many we can get. How many do we have online here? We've got 36. Let's see. So far, we got 15 cameras, 16. Okay. Here's number 17. He jumped up. Then we have 18 is there. Number 19 is about to appear, and 20 is already there. 21. Okay, we're going. Let's cover the whole screen and I can see all of you. I know I like to see the pictures that you post, but I'd rather see you, believe it or not. So two more to go. Come on, Prahlad Nishringa, you can do it. Okay, there you go. Sunita Chowdhury, you did it. Oh, that's Amrita Nams. She snuck in there. Okay. Good. Now we got a whole full screen of live people. Jai Ho. Before
हरे
I had
कृष्णा गुरु महाराज
a
दंडवत प्रणाम.
Jai Ho. All right, let's see who's got the first question.
नो क्वेश्चन प्रभु जी. गुरु महाराज मुझे इंग्लिश नहीं आती, हिंदी आती है.
You can ask your question in Hindi. I can try to translate if there's any question.
वो कह रहे हैं कि आप हिंदी में बोलिए, वो ट्रांसलेट करके गुरु महाराज को बताएंगे.
नहीं,
Yes,
मेरा
and I
कोई
didn't try.
क्वेश्चन नहीं है प्रभु जी.
Okay, thank you, माता जी. धन्यवाद माता जी. अगर अगर आपको प्रश्न है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं और मैं ट्रांसलेट कर दूंगा. थैंक यू.
उनको
Yes.
समझ में आया होगा क्या क्लास?
नहीं आया, लेकिन मैंने सुना फिर भी.
आप कोई भी सवाल पूछ सकती है माता जी, कुछ भी अगर आपके मन में है अध्यात्म को लेके तो आप पूछ सकती हैं, कोई भी सवाल गुरु महाराज जवाब दे देंगे.
ठीक है.
Krishna.
प्रभु जी, जैसे मैं इतने साल हो गए, मतलब मेरी रुचि, मतलब उत्साह नहीं आ रहा है भक्ति में, जो वैसे जैसे आना चाहिए. मतलब एक रेगुलेटरी, मतलब रेगुलेटरी जगह, मतलब एक वो होती है ना. प्रभु जी, एक
आ,
रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है ना, वो मतलब ज्यादा नहीं आ रही है. मतलब एक
समझ गया
रुचि
माता जी,
रुचि नहीं हो रही है ज्यादा.
मैं समझ गया. प्रभु जी पूछेंगे अभी गुरु महाराज से. हाँ, मैं हम बताते हैं आपको. यस प्रभु जी, you can translate
Yes,
if you
Maharaj,
want.
Mataji is asking that in devotional life, the determination and the enthusiasm for practicing devotional service is not coming. So, what to do and any guidance?
She said despite practicing.
Yeah,
Utsahan
despite.
Darya Tat Karma Pavartanam. Rupa Goswami says the first principle is enthusiasm. So how do you gain enthusiasm? Well, by hearing from by hearing from those who are practicing Krishna consciousness seriously, by associating with devotees. There are many ways enthusiasm can appear, but the best way for enthusiasm to appear is to associate with those who are already practicing devotional service in a mood of enthusiasm. What is that mood of enthusiasm? They're always absorbed in Krishna consciousness. To associate with them or to hear from them will gradually awaken enthusiasm within you, because their enthusiasm is not simply words, it's their feelings in bhakti, which will be the inspiration that you'll need to hear to be able to manifest your enthusiasm. Reading can also give us enthusiasm, but when you hear directly, the enthusiasm will manifest more naturally. Well, what is enthusiasm? Goswami says enthusiasm means to use your intelligence and serve accordingly. So there's so many ways to serve, but intelligent activity is called enthusiasm in devotional service. Determination will be there once enthusiasm develops. Then one becomes fixed, and any obstacles that may appear will be opportunities to increase our devotional enthusiasm. So practice the process, as Rupa Goswami says. This is the third verse in Nectar of Instructions. Enthusiasm, determination, patience, chanting, hearing the glories of the Lord, rejecting the association of non-devotees, and following in the footsteps of the great acharyas, teachers who give us this knowledge in the form of books and in a form of their own life examples.
Thank you, Maharaj.
You're going to translate that back?
I will try my best, Maharaj. I've written the notes. I'll try my best. So, Mataji, महाराज कह रहे हैं कि रूप गोस्वामी ने उपदेशामृत में ये कहा है कि जो उत्साहन है, जो एंथुजियाज्म की जो आपने बात की है, तो वो हम जब जिन भक्तों जो कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस में अपनी भक्ति में सीरियस है, उनसे हम श्रवण करेंगे, उन भक्तों से हम श्रवण करेंगे और उनका हम संग लेंगे,
जी
तो
प्रभु।
उनसे हमारी उत्साहन और हमारी जो ईगरनेस है वो बढ़ेगी। सो बाय हियरिंग और एसोसिएशन के साथ। और क्यों द बेस्ट थिंग इज, महाराज बता रहे हैं कि जो उत्तम चीज़ है, उत्तम प्रोसेस है, वो एसोसिएशन है, साधु संघ है जो करना है। और क्यों उन लोगों के साथ साधु संघ करना है जो व्यक्ति और जो भक्त से सुनना है, क्योंकि वो खुद कृष्ण भक्ति में मग्न रहते हैं, वो खूब उनके कृष्ण की भक्ति में और कृष्ण के लीलाओं के बारे में और कृष्ण की सेवा में व्यस्त रहते हैं। और उनका जो एंथुजियाज्म होता है वो भक्त का, वो सिर्फ उनकी फीलिंग नहीं होती, इट इज़ नॉट, उनके शब्द नहीं है जस्ट कहने के लिए, क्योंकि वो भक्ति अंदर हृदय से प्रकट होती है। तो ऐसे भक्तों के साथ अगर हम उनसे सुनेंगे और उनका संग लेंगे तो हमारी भी उत्साह बढ़ेगा भक्ति में। और
जी
हम
प्रभु।
एक और बात, एक और एक्टिविटी भी कर सकते हैं, रीडिंग भी कर सकते हैं, महाराज ने बताया। और जैसे हमारा एंथुजियाज्म बढ़ेगा, हमारा इंटेलिजेंस वी कैन, हमारी बुद्धि को यूज़ करके हमें सेवा करनी है, जैस और वो प्रक्रिया से हमारा उत्साहन बढ़ेगा। और जैसे वो बढ़ेगा तो हमारा डिटर्मिनेशन, भक्ति में दृढ़ता भी बढ़ेगी। तो महाराज
जी
ने
प्रभु।
ये बताया है।
जी।
धन्यवाद प्रभु।
गुड जॉब
Sadhu,
दीनानाथ।
sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, Rasa Vilasani Mataji, you have a question, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev, and assembled devotees.
Turn on your camera.
Okay, yeah. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Yeah, Maharaj, as we are talking about the transcendental vision, so even if a person has transcendental vision, until Krishna himself reveals, that person will not be able to understand Krishna's pastime, Maharaj.
Transcendental vision is given by Krishna also. It's something you are awarded by your practice of devotional service. Now, in one sense, that is the qualification, or at least that's the acumen and the ability to understand higher principles. So that's already there. But Krishna is merciful. It's not that he has to sit there and wait for everyone to come and then he gives permission one at a time. He's giving permission through his different agencies. He's making it available. He's not withholding anything. But in certain pastimes, he performs these things just to show that ultimately everything depends on him. But these are more leelas.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
So someone asked Prabhupada, give me your mercy. Prabhupada said, I'm giving it, just take it. We're not taking it, but we don't really know how to take it. Take it means you want to know really where the mercy is. The mercy is in sadhu sangha, association with devotees, and practicing the process in that association. If we stay in our little box in the house, that's all right. You can also do something there. But when you're with devotees, and then you're chanting, hearing, discussing, reading, and taking prasadam, you're actually in the spiritual world.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Okay. Dinanath Ji.
Yes, Daria Mataji, you have your hands raised. Please go ahead.
Yes. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj. So I don't really understand how should we understand the transcendental pastimes of the Lord? Because by understanding them, we can cultivate this love, ultimate love for Krishna. But if we are not in the right consciousness, we can easily misinterpret them, I guess. And I didn't really understand what it means that these pastimes depend on the Lord. If you could please explain it.
If you simply hear these pastimes, even if you don't understand, at least you're getting purified because the message is already transcendental. And Prabhupada gave the example when he was giving a class in Hindi, just like we just heard Hindi now. That was purifying. Prabhupada was giving a class in Hindi, and some of the Western disciples decided to leave the class. He said, sit down where you're going. Simply hear. The sound is already purifying. So, yeah, that's just to give you a little indication. But when you continue to hear, you start to understand more. But then there's a qualification for hearing with absorption, or what the word is rapt attention. Like that. So practice hearing, practice thinking about what is being said while you're hearing. And if you activate your intelligence while you're hearing, then you can start to understand deeper what is being said. So,
So
hearing is also a skill that we need to adopt because of our association with the external energy kind of blocks our ability to receive sound vibration. But if we practice, we can sort of get beyond that blockages.
because I remember in previous classes you said that like hearing it's better than reading just by yourself, for example, like hearing from like lectures. But
Well,
is it the same benefit if we read by ourselves?
that's also beneficial. It's also hearing. But the Vedic tradition is called Shruti. Shruti and Veda means the same thing. It means to hear. So knowledge was transmitted by guru to disciple. And that went on for thousands and thousands of years until Kali Yuga started to come in this age where people weren't able to remember so easily. So then Vyasadeva was manifested in order to bring that knowledge in the form of books. So books are only a recent phenomenon within the last 5,000 years. Not 5,000 years, within the last, let's see, a couple thousand years, maybe 3,000 years. Most knowledge was transmitted from guru to disciple directly. And people were sharp. But in this age, there are what is it? 8 things that are decreasing in this age. Memory is one of them. And people's memory is not as good as it was years ago in previous ages. In fact, if I ask you what you did yesterday at this time, you have to think about it. Or even if I said something about a week ago, you would couldn't even remember what you did. Our memories are not so good. That's just the way this age is. Decrease in memory, and there's decrease in 7 other certain personality and character traits in this age. So that's why books are there to help us. But still, we should also take advantage of the sound vibration.
Is it the same if we read, for example, out loud? Also the Sanskrit, if we read by ourselves and then hear?
That's good. The choice is really up to the individual. Some people like to read silently, some like to read out loud. Whatever is more beneficial, you might say, or more absorbing to you, you can take either one. I usually read silently, but then sometimes when my mind's a little bit wild, then I start reading louder, and then that helps me bring the mind into the sound.
Okay, thank you so much. And maybe, I don't know if it's a relevant question, but I was thinking, what's more important? Like also when we hear the Maha Mantra, if we chant and then read by ourselves and then also listen to lectures, I was thinking, what's the priority that we can increase? Is it by increasing our chanting or listening more or reading more? Like what's more beneficial?
You need to make a comparison between the two because both are beneficial and both are on the pure spiritual platform. But the chanting is the essence of our practice. In the sense that we have to chant each day accordingly. We should read every day, but sometimes if we miss, we can still go on, but the chanting must go on. Because it's the
I was just
the Yuga Dharma, the means for self-realization in this age.
Mm.
But transcendental sound vibration at comings by way of reading is also chanting. Someone is writing, and that's chanting, and you're hearing. So that's Shravanam Kirtanam.
Mm. Okay, thank you so much.
All for transcendental.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Amritana Mataji, you have your hands raised. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Guru Maharaj, from today's lecture, I also got some hints about community building and relationships. So we also see in the devotee community that while performing services, we also face a lot of difference of opinions, and due to which the relationships are sometimes struggling or jumbled up. So, how do we avoid and help ourselves to build a strong community?
Well, how, some of the principles of community building that we are asking.
Yeah. I think they are interrelated with the personal devotee relationships as well, which in combine result in the community building. So I asked both.
Our whole society is based on community, and relationships is the foundation for everything. And the quality of their relations builds the community also. And in that relationship, everyone plays a role according to how they can serve within that community. Yeah, there's Bhakti Tirtha's 4 principles of community building. One of them, he said that, what was it? To see every person you're with as the most important person in your life. And treat them in that same way. If there is some discord, always take the position of take the humble position. Never blame others, always see yourself as at fault if there's some discord. There's 4 principles. I don't have that listing in front of me. Treat everyone as a spiritual self. Yeah, there we have them. Treat everyone you encounter as if the success or failure of your spiritual life depends on the quality of your interactions with them. Think of the person you love the most and aspire to treat everyone with the same quality of love. Number 3, view all conflicts as your own fault first. Realize that people in your present environment might very well be the people with whom you will live out your life and who are likely to be with you at that time of death. So community building starts with internal work, and it manifests in adopting these principles. And then there is organization within the community. There has to be organization, or else things don't go on. And everyone plays a role. Some people serve in one way, some people serve in another way. And then you have enough services to cover all of the services needed. And then you have a control program of people who are in charge to make sure things are going on, to introduce new and newer ideas on how to expand the community and the services. You have visionaries who are leaders who can understand where we are and where we need to go. People who
Thank
work
you,
in
Guru
the
Maharaj.
secular world, they also do that in corporate world also. They want to see, okay, what is our present situation, how to expand the business, how to expand the quality of the business. So devotees, yeah, if you're not thinking how to increase either quality and quantity in your spiritual life, then you're going backwards. You're not making any advancement. Devotional service is proactive. Always planning, always trying to improve. In whatever capacity you're working, always try to improve the quality of it. And in some cases, the quantity also. This is Krishna consciousness. This is what Prabhupada gave us, and he also taught us that principle. Not one moment idle.
Yeah, so constantly being proactive and updated.
Yeah, constantly.
Mm.
When you're doing
Mm.
one service, you're always thinking, what am I going to be doing next? Even before you finish the present service.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
And writing, when
And
you get ideas on how to improve, or you get ideas on new ideas on what to do, write it down. Keep a pencil and paper. I just redid my things to do list. Here's the latest one. It's a little smaller than what I usually have because I was able to fill up the other paper. Things are going good. I'm getting a lot of things done. For some reason, I don't know why. Krishna's merciful. So I'm putting a lot of X's alongside of the things to do. That means I did it. Do that yourself. Those who are in the business world, they do that. They have a listing of what they want to do, and they prioritize that list accordingly, and then they work in that way.
yes,
Also,
Maharaj.
reflect on what you're doing and how to improve what you're doing. And if there's some obvious obstacle, then you have to see how to overcome that obstacle through prayer and using your intelligence to accept Krishna's mercy and applying it. Like, I'll take a personal example. I told the same example, I think, a few days ago. I was getting up at a certain time, and I would immediately take care of bodily needs, and then after that, I would wake up the deities, and then chant Gayatri. And then when it was time for japa, it was about an hour and a half after I got up. And then japa was like, I was so tired. So now I have a different program. It took me a long time to figure it out. So now I don't do that anymore. When I wake up, I take about 2 minutes to get ready, and then I start chanting immediately. And my chanting is better, it's easier, the time period is earlier, so it's nicer in that atmosphere. And then I finish most of my rounds before I go on with my personal needs, taking shower and getting ready. So even shower is more fun at that time. Because I have already chanted at least 12 or 12 rounds or more. It works good. I found when you just do all of these other things and you sit down after an hour and a half, I'm like, let me go back to sleep. Yeah. So it took me a while after going through that for a while to actually, I prayed. And when I prayed, I got the answer. So, yeah. And now I'm happy. Before I was almost happy. So I'm just using myself as an example. I mean, I've done that throughout the years, on and off. But usually that's not the normal procedure. But it seems to be working not really good right now in my present situation. So then again, we also, you see what you're struggling with. You can't find any reading time. So you're thinking, how, I want to read, but it seems like there's so many things to do. And every time I sit down to read, somebody sends me a text message. Or something happens, somebody calls you up, or somebody comes and starts talking. In other words, something happens when it comes to read. So you're thinking, how can I read? So then again, you start planning. And then you put time aside that this is the reading time and nothing else is going to go on in this time. It's an absolute, schedule. And then you'll find you have more, you'll be reading more. Schedule it. So that's one way. Another way is to actually check and see how you work throughout the day, and then look for opportunities to read. Just like when you travel, if you're sitting on a plane, read instead of just, I don't know, sleeping. What else do you do on the plane?
Watch movies.
Huh?
Watch movies.
No. You're watching. Nobody's watching. No, we don't watch any movies. There's nothing to watch.
Thank you,
just,
Guru Maharaj. I think this is quite refreshing. My knowledge, refreshing in my knowledge that you personally build up your own self first, then relationship with others, and then go to the community building. And center should be Krishna conscious process.
yeah.
So
When you first join, it's all about yourself. Then you start to realize that Krishna consciousness is to include others. And then you take advantage of others to serve others and to get inspired by others also. Then, as you start taking care of yourself, you start also doing things for others simultaneously. And then as you grow, you find you'll start leaning towards doing things for others more than you would do for yourself. Because what you do for yourself will be higher quality as you make advancement, and therefore you don't need to spend as much time doing these things. And then you have more to give to others.
yes,
That's the
thank
progression.
you. Yes, yes. Makes sense very much. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj.
Cincinnati, or are you still in Delhi?
Hare
Manohar is
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Danvat Pranam. All goes to you, all goes to Srila Prabhupada.
where are you?
I am in Moradabad, my native place, Guru Maharaj.
Which place?
Moradabad. That's in Uttar Pradesh, UP.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So thank you, Guru Maharaj. It's been over a month that I have not been able to join the class. And in fact, that is something that was bothering me a lot. And there are few things which has, somewhere or the other I see missing, in my daily routine of bhakti since I'm back from US. In fact, in between, I've got a chance to go to Trivandrum. I've gone to Trivandrum ISKCON, there, and I was a little surprised. I was the only one at the evening, Aarti time, and they offered me to sing the Gaura Aarti, and after long, I sang it there, And that gave me some sort of a relief, as I felt as if Krishna is looking at me. He's still having his mercy on me, so I got some relief. But somewhere or the other, Guru Maharaj, I feel that I'm missing on certain things, and I'm really, really, really struggling on my daily routine. It's been, during the night I have to work, and somehow during the work the daytime as well. So that is the routine I'm being into, and trying to come out of it somehow. But so far, no success. So just want to share with you, and want to know your thoughts, and get some wisdom, Guru Maharaj.
Reduce your time at work, that's all.
uh, yeah, as of now, that is how it is. Yeah.
Well, reduce your time at work.
Okay, Guru Maharaj, I'll try.
Yeah, just take more time for yourself, and then you'll have more time for your spiritual life.
Yeah, that is getting impacted negatively. I can see that.
Yeah, you'll go down so far until you actually realize what happened. Krishna's gone.
No, no, no. I will ensure that doesn't happen, Guru Maharaj, with your mercy. But yeah, this is something which is happening. So I just wanted to, let you know and share with you.
You have so many hours in the day. How are you going to use them?
Yeah.
If we just work, then it doesn't. Bhagavatam doesn't say that by work you're going to be happy. It says by Krishna consciousness you'll be happy. Bhagavatam doesn't give any credence. Maintaining the body is just a bit something you have to do, but it's not the full. It doesn't mean full engagement in maintaining the body.
Yeah, that is true.
The soul is crying out for Krishna, and the body is, you know, interfering with that.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I will try my best.
Don't try, do it.
Sure, I'll do it, Guru Maharaj.
Thing is, if you try, you won't do it. But if you do it, say, I'm going to do it, you'll do it.
Got it.
Material energy is strong. Unless your determination is stronger than the efforts that Maya gives you, you won't make any improvement.
Right. Somehow, Guru Maharaj, I definitely see a missing, a miss of a, association here. So that definitely gives a lot of energy, which is definitely missing, and I'm not able to find that. So that is one of the reasons I see. But I do whatever I can, at least, bare minimum my rounds. I do it every day, but still, I feel that there is something which is missing.
Do you work on weekends too?
To some extent, actually, I have joined one course. So I have joined in I'm Lucknow course recently, which is for an year. So the classes happens only on weekend there.
Well, try to do some whole, invite some devotees over to your house and have programs.
Sure, Guru Maharaj.
That Bhagavatam says Grihastas have that duty to hold programs, invite some senior devotee to give a lecture. If you can't, then do it yourself and just have a program, kirtan,
Hmm.
jhadam, some reading of the Bhagavatam or some scripture.
Sure, sure, Guru Maharaj. I'll definitely uh,
You know
plan on
all it.
talking.
You know all
Yeah.
it.
I'll plan it out, Guru Maharaj. Yeah.
If you give Maya 1 foot, she'll take 2 feet. If you give her 2 feet, she'll take 4. If you give her 4, she'll take 8. The more you give to the external energy, the more she'll pull you in. The more you give,
Yes.
the more Krishna will pull you in. It's up to
Right.
you. You have a choice.
Right. Right. Sure, Guru Maharaj. I
At the
will.
time of death, your occupation will save you. You can say, well, I made it to CEO, and Krishna says, go back and try again.
Got it, got it, Guru Maharaj. Yeah, I will do that, Guru Maharaj. Yeah,
Spiritual life cannot wait. It's the need of the time.
sure.
The more you postpone, the more you postpone. The more you do it, the more you do it.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, got it.
I know you agree with me, but still, I'm not seeing any really enthusiasm for change. Let's see.
No, don't say that, Guru Maharaj, please. I'm absorbing. I'm absorbing what you're saying, Guru Maharaj. I will do it for sure.
You have to, you're successful in your business, but now be successful in the real business. Self-realization. That's the business of the living entity. What is the purpose of this material birth, of this birth in this material world as a human being? Adato Brahma Jigyasa, the scriptures say. Now that you have human life, ask what is the purpose of this life and how to achieve it. That's the first question. Bhagavatam is off like that.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. You're good at kirtan. Keep doing kirtan. Have kirtan programs. Invite people over for kirtan.
Sure, Maharaj. No, I will definitely do it. That is what I feel somewhere or the other missing. But as I told you, when I've gone to Trivandrum, I got the chance, and I was feeling so good about it. I'll do that, Guru Maharaj. Yes.
Okay. Now there's about 36 witnesses to your statement. And plus
Sure.
there's
Sure.
so
Sure.
worry.
Sure. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Everybody's going to be watching you and see what happens.
Sure, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Guru Maharaj, we might need a weekly report from him as to how much has he reduced smoking.
Huh? I say that again.
I was saying, Guru Maharaj, we might need a weekly report from him, as to how much he has reduced smoking.
You sound like a trainer from some corporate world, huh?
May I say something, Manohar Krishna Prabhu?
Yes, please, 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 Mataji.
When Manohar Krishna Prabhu called me up, I got so concerned because not only was he working through the night, those fellows wouldn't leave him alone during the day. The time when he needed to sleep, they were texting him, they were calling him, they were emailing him, they were asking him to troubleshoot. I said, my God, now instead of working 12 hours, you're working 24 hours. There's no let up. When do you actually sleep then? It was this bad from his description.
Haribol, thank you for revealing the.
Okay. Thank
Well,
you.
you have to understand this human form of life is rare. And if you don't use it for this real purpose, then you might lose it. If you lose it, it might take many births to regain it again.
Yeah. Sure, I'll bring it in my control, Guru Maharaj, with your mercy and Krishna's mercy. Yep.
Yeah. We have to really want spiritual life. Otherwise, Maya will keep pushing you until you break. And then when you break, then you feel like everything's lost.
Right.
Material world doesn't care about you, they care about what they can get from you.
Right.
Devotees care about each other, but people in the material world, they present some concern for each other. Why? Because they all have motivations to get something. Everyone is motivated by some personal interests. But devotees are motivated by inspiring each other and engaging in devotional service. That's all. You came to see me when you first came to Delhi. I spent a whole few hours with you. You were
Right.
fried about what happened in America. You came
Yeah.
here for relief, and now you're doing the same thing.
That has gone even worse. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
Guru Maharaj. Yeah.
my instruction to you is do kirtan every day.
Sure. I'll do that, Guru Maharaj. Yes.
Even if you just do it with a few people, it'll be nice. Everyone will be happy, and you'll feel satisfied.
Sure, Guru Maharaj. Definitely, I'll do that.
Really good kirtan. Okay,
Thank you,
so
Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't catch that. Did you catch that?
It's 500 kilometers.
What is
Lucknow.
where he is?
Yes.
From here.
From his place to Rishikesh.
So he's suggesting that Prabhu can come to Rishi.
Oh,
Overnight train.
Manohar.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Maharaj. Sorry.
I'm going to be in Rishikesh from February 2nd all the way to the 15th. Come and see me in Rishikesh.
I will come, Guru Maharaj. I'll definitely come.
Yeah. Bring your wife also.
Absolutely.
It's only 586 kilometers from where you are now.
Yeah, Guru Maharaj. I will come for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll bring Nityanandani as well along. Yes. Thank you for inviting, Guru Maharaj. I will definitely come. I think that will be the best thing for me at this point in time.
Yeah, a little revival of.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Sri Devi has a question.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I was just thinking, human form of life. Please accept my humble obeisances, Guru Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, on this point of human life and how valuable it is for self realization, those who do not take to the path of self realization, but simply continue with their karmic activities, just trying to acquire more, get more, achieve more. How is it that they can go on and on and on like that without any, at least seemingly, any consequences?
Prabhupada was saying that he had a friend who used to take ketchup and put it on a rasgulla and eat it. So how can someone do that? That's the answer to your question. People can get so absorbed in doing the most, what we say, continuous things that they can't see out of it. And even if they hear, just like what did Prahlad Maharaj say to his father? That there's three ways: by hearing from others, by hearing from, was three ways. You will never become Krishna consciousness in any of these three ways. What is it? Here, a verse from Prahlad Maharaj in this. It's in the seventh canto. I think it's in the fifth chapter, verse number 30. By the group. In other words, people get so connected to whatever they're doing, they can't see out of it. Even though they're suffering, still. the attachment to material life is so strong.
And their inclinations toward Krishna are never aroused either by the instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both.
The instructions of Krishna consciousness is never aroused by their own efforts, by
others,
by hearing from others, or a combination of both. So, yeah, when you're a devotee, you understand everything, and then you see other people who are opposite, and you think, how can they do that? But people do the most craziest things, and it looks like normal. Even to themselves, what to speak about how they do things to others. So that's conditioning. Krishna consciousness means to recondition people according to the nature of their actual existence, which is the soul and not the body. By using the intelligence and the mind, one can direct these things towards the activities of devotional service. So getting people to do that is the principle of preaching. And there's many ways by which you can preach to somehow or other attract someone at least to take interest in their spiritual life. So that's our job, to Jeev Jago, Gaura Chandra Bole, Nakota Nitra Majayo Maya, Pisachire Kole. Wake up, sleeping soul, wake up.
So this human life is practically wasted totally if we do not take to the path of Krishna consciousness, and it is just as good as animal life.
Yeah, because there's no difference. What distinguishes animal life from human life is higher knowledge or transcendental knowledge. Everything is the same, but one inquires, what is the purpose of life? The animals can't inquire, what is the purpose of life? But humans can. And that inquiry is the beginning of knowledge.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, good. Okay, I think I'm going to get chastised for staying too long on the program here. So we have a regulatory board that's just adopted to keep me in line. So I must say that we have to follow this.
I
program.
registered my protest against that. Guru Maharaj, just for the record.
Okay, then I'll send you to the CEO and you can discuss it. But she's not so easy to convince, so anyway. So thank you very much, devotees, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow we'll be doing Chaitanya Charitamrita. And for those who are coming, please come. Tomorrow's class is Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 7, verse number 44.
Thank you, Maharaj. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha samaveta bhakta vrinda ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Lord Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Guru
Thank you,
Maharaj.
Guru Maharaj. Hare
Very
Krishna.
much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Guru Maharaj.
Krishna.
Thank you, Dina.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you, Guru
So much,
Maharaj.
Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.